guys, got Level here, and today we're going to cover the basics of adding Nightbot to a Twitch channel. Hey guys, got Level here, and today we're going to cover the basics of adding Nightbot to a Twitch channel.
Let me make sure he's let me make sure this food is give me. If you just close your eyes. Oh my god, bro. Jesus, man. Oh yeah, hold up. No, hold.
What's up guys, welcome to another video on the Gaming Careers YouTube channel. My name's Pete and today we're going to be looking at the highly requested Auto DJ feature from Nightbot. Now for those of you that aren't familiar with the Auto DJ feature, what it does is it allows your stream viewers to interact in chat and request songs through the Auto DJ system that automatically play in the background of your stream. So one of your viewers can type in the song request command into your Twitch or YouTube gaming chat, and then after that request a certain song by pasting in the URL or by using search term, and that will then search either YouTube, SoundCloud or Spotify depending on how you set up the tool to be able to play that song in the background. Auto DJ then provides you as the streamer with lots of different ways of controlling the music, skipping songs, changing the volume and setting default playlists to play when there are no requests in the queue. It's a really awesome tool, which is why I've dedicated a whole video to it. And one thing I'm going to mention is if you haven't yet set up Nightbot, you haven't got it to join your channel, you haven't made it a moderator, you need to watch the video that I created on Nightbot. I go into loads of detail into customizing and setting it all up, so you need to have done all of that before you can set up Auto DJ. So if you haven't yet done that, I'll put an annotation up top for the video and also down in the description. Pause this video now, go and watch that, set Nightbot up, then come back here and we can start playing with Auto DJ. Let's jump in. So, to set up Auto DJ, we need to head over to the Nightbot dashboard, which is nightbot.tv, log in with our Twitch or YouTube account. It should already be authorized and you should already have Nightbot in your channel and modded. Again, if you haven't done that yet, please click the link down in the description, watch our Nightbot setup guide because you need to do that first. Down the left hand side we're going to click on song requests and then click on Auto DJ. There are three main sections for the Auto DJ page. There are some settings, there's the music player with some controls and a queue of all the upcoming songs. We'll start with the settings. The enable disable option is fairly obvious, but this is to control whether or not new song requests can be added to the queue from your chat. Clear queue clears all the songs currently in the queue. The request song button, that opens up a pop-up where you can enter a direct URL from YouTube, Spotify or SoundCloud, or you can enter a search term, and the closest match will be chosen from the search term. The search is provided on the search provider, which we'll be setting up next. The final button up top is the settings button, which will pop up where you can alter all of the different settings of the Auto DJ feature. These are divided into three main sections. First we'll look at the general section, which the first option is the user level. Similar to a lot of the Nightbot stuff that we did in the previous video, this is the minimum user level that someone in your chat has to have to be able to request a song. So if you want everyone to be able to request a song, leave this set at everyone. Providers, these are the different services that you want to allow users to request songs from, so you can check or uncheck these boxes as you desire. The playlist option, this is basically when your song request queue is empty, you don't want the music to stop. This is where Nightbot Auto DJ is going to be selecting songs from. So if the queue is completely empty, it's going to be selecting songs from this playlist. The default playlist that they have there is Monster Cat, which is sort of an EDM, sort of electronic, fairly high tempo playlist, which is pretty good actually. And if you select channel here, you'll be able to make your own playlist, and we'll look at setting that up a little later in the video. Finally, under general, we have search provider, and this is the provider that we want to use for searching songs. So if one of your viewers types in song request Katy Perry raw, Nightbot will use this search provider you set here to find the song. Just as a side note, no matter which provider you set here, viewers will still be able to request songs using the song URL on YouTube, SoundCloud or Spotify. This is just the search provider if they enter a search term rather than a URL. The next category of settings is limits, and the first option that we have is queue length. This is the maximum amount of songs that can be stored in the queue, and it can be anything between 1 and 100. I just set this at 100. The limit to playlist option, if you enable this, it will force song requests to have to be in the playlist that you have set up, either Monster Cat or your own. I honestly don't know why you would do this, it kind of ruins the fun of users being able to request songs, but maybe if you've got a massive playlist and users want to request songs from that, then you can enable this here. User limit is the maximum number of songs that you can request at a time. This can be anything between 1 and 100. I personally leave this at 2. And the exempt user level, this is the minimum user level that someone has to be exempt from all of these limits. The final settings section is YouTube. You can basically, firstly, limit the requests to be tagged as music. So if you enable this, this will only add requested songs to the queue if they are tagged in the music category on YouTube. Limit to liked videos. This will only add requested songs to the queue if the video has more likes than dislikes on YouTube. So if one of your users, one of your viewers is requesting Justin Bieber's Baby, at the time of recording this video, that wouldn't be added if you had this option enabled, because it has more dislikes than likes. So that's it for settings. Next we'll move on to the players and controls. The music player itself will change automatically between the providers that you've enabled. So by default this will be YouTube, SoundCloud and Spotify, and it will change based on where the song request has come from. You also get some information next to the player, such as the title of the track, length, a link to the song, and the name of who in your chat requested the song. Controls wise, you'll be able to pause and play, skip to the next song in the queue, as well as skip ahead to a different part of the current song, and of course change the volume. Obviously I recommend playing around with the volume here to make sure that it's a good level for both you whilst you're playing games and for your stream viewers. Finally we'll move on to the queue. The queue is where you can see an ordered list of the upcoming songs and requests for your stream. When you have no song requests, you'll just see the upcoming songs from either the Monster Cat playlist or your own playlist. To demonstrate how this changes when a user requests a song, we'll head over to our Twitch chat, type in !song request, and then paste in a YouTube URL the song that we'd like to request. If we wait just a few seconds, we should see the requested song appearing at the top of our queue of requested songs. It's worth noting here that this appears above all of the other playlist songs, which are coloured in grey, that haven't been requested. Requested songs will always take priority over the default playlist. Let's do another quick demonstration to show the search. We go to our Twitch chat again and type in !song request, and then something like Wiz Khalifa, see you again. Nightbot's auto DJ feature will search the search provider that we set up for this song and add the most likely result to the queue. Now we can see both of the songs here in the upcoming songs queue, along with who requested them. We have a couple of buttons on the right hand side here which allow us to promote a song up the list to be first in the queue, as well as an option to delete a song from the queue. That's pretty much it for the Auto DJ page. Next we'll look at setting up an alternative default playlist to the Monster Cat one, which is there by default. So if you want Auto DJ to play songs from one of your handcrafted playlists rather than the default one, whilst there are no requests in the queue, firstly you need to jump back into the settings quickly and change the playlist from Monster Cat to channel and click submit. Next we'll head over to the left hand side and click on the playlist option. Here you can set up your playlist either by adding individual songs or by importing a whole playlist from YouTube, SoundCloud or Spotify. To demonstrate this, I'm going to import a playlist that I love listening to whilst I stream, and that's by Mr. Suicide Sheep and it's from Spotify. To import a playlist, all we have to do is click the import button up here, copy the playlist URL from YouTube, SoundCloud or Spotify, paste it in here and click submit. It may take a few seconds to import depending on the size of the playlist, how many songs there are inside of it, but once it has, you should see all of the songs displayed below. You can then remove or add individual songs if you'd like, or you can import even more playlists on top of this if you want to have a massive selection to choose from. It's worth mentioning what I think is fairly obvious here to prevent the influx of comments that I'm sure I'd get if I didn't mention it. You need to have the Auto DJ page open whilst you stream to be able to hear any of the music, because this is actually where the music is coming from. If you're wanting to use Spotify for some of your requests, then you're going to need to download the Nightbot app, which we're going to cover now. The Nightbot app is just an application version of the website that Nightbot has built, and it allows you to do a couple of things specifically to do with Auto DJ. Firstly, as I just mentioned, if you want to use Spotify, you need to have the app, since that's just a limitation of the Spotify web player. You need to be having the app and using the Spotify desktop client. Secondly, if you want to be displaying the now playing song information, as well as things like who requested it, actually on your stream, then you're going to need to download the app, since it generates a text file which imports into OBS. The third reason for downloading the app is that it allows you to use hotkeys on your keyboard to skip, pause, and change volume of the Auto DJ. Obviously, when you're streaming, you want to have as many of these hotkeys set up as possible, so you can keep alt-tabbing and changing settings individually. So what we need to do is download the Nightbot app. They have one both for Windows and OS X. I've added a link in the description below to the page where you can download it from. Download and install as you normally would with any other program, and we'll walk through setting up the now playing text. When you launch it for the first time, you're going to need to log in and authorize with your Twitch or YouTube account. Once you've logged in, you're going to notice that it looks exactly like the Nightbot website. It has all of the same features down the left-hand side. So if we go to Song Requests and then Auto DJ, and click Settings button in the top right, you'll see that we have a new setting to edit. That is called Nightbot App. This is where you can edit the format of the text generated into the text file that we'll be importing into OBS. So you can see that the default is the song title and then who requested it. If you want to edit this to include maybe the artist, you simply just use the artist variable, which is shown below. Now by default, the app outputs a text file to a specific location that I'm showing on screen now. They're different for PC and Mac, so make sure that you're looking in the right folder. To set this up in OBS, firstly let's start playing a song through the Auto DJ section of the app, and then we'll swap to OBS Studio. Select the scene which you want to add the now playing text into, then go across the sources, click the plus button, then select text and name it something that we're going to be able to remember later. I'm going to name mine Music Explorer. Check the read from file box and then click browse and navigate to the folder where the Nightbot application is outputting the text file. Again, the defaults are shown below. Once you've opened the text file, you should see the song information displayed. You can then edit this however you want to, change the font, change the color, change the font size, play around with backgrounds, all that kind of stuff. Once you're happy with how your text is looking, click OK and we should see the text displaying inside of OBS. Position this wherever you want to position it and make sure you've got the font size correct and all those kind of things. If you want to have the text scrolling, you're going to need to add a scroll filter to the text. So to do this, right click on the text source and select filter. Click the plus button and add the scroll filter to the text. Then all we need to do is adjust the horizontal scroll speed to whatever you think looks good. You'll also probably want to use the limit width, which limits the width of the text box to a set amount, which makes positioning your now playing text somewhere on your screen much easier. As you can see, you can get something set up fairly quickly, which looks really good and it's super interactive with your viewers. They can request songs through chat, they can see that they've requested it on your stream, they can hear it, you get to react with what kind of song is playing. It's a super interactive way and a great way to bond with your chat. Some quick final things to mention. If you are using Spotify and having any issues at all, then you need to go to the help page that I've also linked below. It's right below the download links that you opened earlier. There's some specific quirks with Spotify. You have to open Spotify first, then the Nightbot application, but they've got some troubleshooting on there. Secondly, I just want to reiterate, to prevent any kind of questions on this, you need to have the Nightbot website open if you're using the website, or the Nightbot app open if you're using the app, to be able to use this whole auto DJ function. That's pretty much it, guys. So if you have enjoyed the video, and you've got to this point, please do give it a thumbs up. It really does help us out. Maybe share the video with somebody else who's learning to stream. Also, if you're new to the Gaming Careers YouTube channel, we are a YouTube channel completely dedicated to helping you succeed with Twitch, YouTube gaming, live streaming, content creation. Come around the channel, subscribe if you haven't already. Subscribers, I'll see you next time. What is up, guys? Welcome to the Gaming Careers YouTube channel. My name's Pete and today we're going to be looking at how to get that professional sound by playing around with some of the microphone options in Studio. If you are new here to the Gaming Careers YouTube channel, please do have a look around at the other videos we've got. We've got loads of different content. All of it is based around helping you make professions.
Bro, I don't even know what the fuck to play, bro. Honestly, bro.
So, yeah.